let me in a public place thank my floor leaders for the terrific work they've been doing. It's always crazy time before crossover, and let me thank you all for the stupendous job you've been doing, and also thank the staff for the terrific job that they've been doing. They're working on 1 hour of sleep, I think, collectively. So, okay, House Bill 230. Dave, do you have your floor report?
I do not, but I will do the best that I can.
Well, you know what? I've got it. Let me do it. Okay, as amended, House Bill 230. As amended, House Bill 230 by repealing an exclusion subjects a motor vehicle rental company as the owner of a vehicle to enforcement of violations recorded by speed monitoring systems, speed cameras, and red light cameras. The bill is favorable with amendment. The subcommittee amendments add red light cameras and electronic citations for all automated enforcement for rental car companies. Is there a second for that amendment?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendment itself? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any discussion on the bill before we proceed to a vote? I'm going to roll call it. I'm going to do a roll call so we'll know who all is here. Roll call.
Stein.
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye.
Learman.
Yes.
Fraser Hidalgo.
Yes.
Otto.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Wyville.
No.
Ampry.
Yes.
Silberti, I think, is missing. Wells.
Yes.
Love.
Yes.
Ruth.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Prettyman.
Yes.
Foley.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Tarasa.
Yes.
Parrott.
No.
Boyce.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Jalisi.
Yes.
Anderton.
Yep.
Gilchrist.
Jim?
Yes.
Ely.
Aye.
Chairman.
Chairman votes yes.
22-2 with one absent.
Okay, House Bill 601. Who has that? Do I? Okay, I've got it, so let me read.
Oh, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, do
thank-
you have it? Do you have it?
I do not have the amendment, so go ahead.
Okay, bill summary. House Bill 601 establishes a Chesapeake Bay and coastal sport fishing license pilot program in DNR and a task force on recreational fishing data collection and licensing. The subcommittee amendments limit the pilot program to boat licenses. On the amendment, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Vote no, the ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the bill? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Abstentions, the bill carries unanimously among those present. Jay, you're okay with presenting this bill on the House floor, right?
Yes, sir. Do you want me to come down and get a folder Monday morning?
If you come down now, I can actually give you the report right now, I think.
I'll come down after voting.
You need the attached
There will be a
documents,
be-
though,
there will
but
be
you
a
need all
better
the
one
other stuff
Monday.
with it.
You know what? There'll be a better one Monday. Don't.
Monday morning, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have the
yeah.
votes on it. You'll have all the testimony. You'll have all the stuff you need.
Actually, we're not going to be doing
Oh.
the testimony anymore. It's just too much of a burden, and you
Never
know.
mind then.
Yeah, right.
I'll
Okay.
I'll be down Monday.
Okay, sounds good.
Do I need to man the phone call?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, who's on the other side of Jay?
Oh, Harns.
Oh, yeah, definitely you got to do it, Charles. Okay, 656.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 656 was voted favorable out of subcommittee with two amendments. Amendment number 1 strikes the requirement for SHA study on certain intersections, statewide road and characteristics. Amendment number 2 reduces the appropriations for minor project programs, then limits F to FY 24 and increases them proportionally to federal funds that may be received. Move the amendments.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions on the amendments, Delegate Wyval? Oh, no, Delegate Otto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What does this do now? I mean, it was a substantial
Right.
fiscal note on
It was
that.
$169 million.
I say
Right,
that's
so-
substantial.
So for the most part, Delegate Otto, the work that comes out of this bill is contingent on federal funds. So this is going toward Vision Zero, trying to make our roadways safer, trying to make our intersections safer. I don't have the exact reprint in front of me because we're just out of time.
So it's not our money, it's our great grandchildren's money.
That's
No,
right.
actually, it is almost.
they live
all
long enough.
federal money. It is almost all contingent on federal money. So if you define federal money as your great grandchildren's money, that's up to you. But
Well,
if it's free money coming from the feds, it's going to be somebody's grandchildren's. You might as well take it for Maryland.
there's nothing from free.
No, but this is a steep discount.
Yeah.
Delegate Foley.
Yes, just, the sponsor of the bill told me it's $7.2 million now. That's what it is, coming out of the infrastructure money.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's correct.
that's right. And by the way, our municipalities, I got to thank you from both of my mayors because Rockville and Gaithersburg were getting some money out of it. So, so hey, if you vote for it, thanks so much. Neil?
I will say, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, no, I just had a question. When we get federal money, was it going to be designated towards this project anyway? Or are we taking money then away from what could be road improvements of making sure it goes to this program?
It could be for anything. They haven't figured out where all the federal dollars are going to go. So this is just saying, this is like less than 2% of the federal dollars and say, do this with it. So I don't think that everybody's determined where those federal dollars are going. This is an attempt to say, well, maybe we can take a tiny little bit of it.
And put it towards this.
Don't disappoint the mayor of Rockville and Gaithersburg. Go ahead, Jay.
Or the former mayor of Rock Hall.
Right.
Correct. DFH, the federal dollars are going to take care of most of this, but not all of this. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I will say, which is what I was about to say earlier, this is actually jointly assigned and Approps has already voted this out. So this is the exact way that the Appropriations Committee voted it.
I understand. I just want to, I made a point yesterday talking about how, and I know for sure in my district too, system preservation money was cut bad last year because the traffic was, due to COVID, the gas tax was down. And then so there were system preservation reductions in my district, especially. And
Now there's no gas tax at all.
and my understanding, hopefully it's being backfilled. But hopefully, those numbers are going to be better this year. But, what I understood from the state was that the two pots of money that the backfill was coming from the state side was system preservation and bridge money. And because where the pots of money were to fund this were limited. They weren't it wasn't a big pot. It was limited to system preservation and bridge money. So do you know if that's true or not and how much is coming out?
I don't specifically know. I don't know if Patrick can chime in. I actually, in all of the craziness of session, didn't get a chance to get the reprint. So all I have is the full report. I don't have the reprint. I know we talked about it. I guess it was last night. It's kind of a blur. And there was a specific section above the dollar section that referred to it. Patrick, what am I missing?
I'm not sure.
Good, Jay.
All right, well, I can't get the answer I'm looking for. That's okay. Thank you.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair,
I was
Mr.
gonna-
Chair,
Mr. Chair, I have the bill in front of, would you like me, Mr. Subcommittee Chair, to read that paragraph?
There's the paragraph that, as I recall, there's a paragraph right
Right, correct.
above it. Yes, you could read the
Right.
paragraph.
So,
that makes
so it
sense.
says, subject to paragraph 2 of this subsection for fiscal year 2024, and that's changed because it used to be through 2028. The governor shall include in the annual budget bill an appropriation for the State Highway Administration's Safety Congestion Relief Highway and Bridges System Preservation Minor Projects Program for the following purposes and at least the following amounts. And then the amounts are reduced. So
Right, it should all be included.
that's
into-
correct. So the amounts are ADA retrofit, 7.4 million, bicycle retrofit, 6.2 million, safety and spot improvement, 44.1 million, sidewalk program, 8.5 million, and traffic management, 39.1 million. And then there's a paragraph that says the amounts required under subsection 1 of this, or paragraph 1 of this subsection shall be increased by the percentage increase in available funds for these programs obtained by the state in formula dollars from the Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So that's the funding piece of it.
And I appreciate that, Delegate. I have that print out as well. But my question was more direct on funds that would be taken out of either system preservation or bridge. I'm just trying to verify whether there's money coming out of those pots from the state or not.
You know,
Okay.
I
Well,
think
well,
Delegate
let me-
Love has an answer, but
Well, let me just say, Mary Lehman, Sarah Love, Charles Otto, and Brooke Learman have their hands up in that order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to remind you after we vote, if we could be allowed to do a pile on.
Okay. Sarah Love.
I believe Delegate Learman can add to this, but it is my understanding that the feds have earmarked grants for pedestrian and bike safety. Maryland has to compete for those grants, but this is going to put us in a better position to compete for those grants. So it's not taking away from anything else.
And so that is my direct understanding as well. This puts us in a position to actually get that money. So to Delegate Otto's question about grandkids, like this is, I don't want to say free money, but we need to take this money. It's similar to what happened in Baltimore City when the governor walked away from the red line, where we lost a lot of money for the red line. This is, in a way, like we don't want to just walk away from this money. I'm sorry, I'll let you go.
900 million.
Okay, Delegate Otto, then Delegate Learman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just concerned, we did a gimmick here funding highway user revenues back to the counties and the municipalities this week. And I'm hoping that that's not sacrificing money that should have been going into that program to restore their capabilities and to a program such as this.
I mean, just to answer again, Delegate Otto, this is free money. Like this doesn't have anything to do with highway user revenues. This is money. These are grants that we can apply to the federal government to get, and we need to do that. It's actually fiscally, it would be fiscally irresponsible for us not to ask for this money, to bring this money home to our constituents, to the constituents of the state of Maryland.
Okay, are you good, Charles? I think he's good. Brooke.
thank you. Yeah, I just want to what Delegate Love and Delegate Fisher-Delgo said is exactly right. And I will just note that these are a form of system preservation. Like when we are repaving a street that is prone to accidents, this is just saying when you are at it, when we are repaving that, when we are redoing it, we also need to make sure that we are doing the work of making it safer so that people don't die, right? So that's what this money is for. It's only $7.2 million above what is currently in the CTP, and that money will help us compete for federal grants. So for all of those reasons, this is a very sensible bill, and it will actually help us bring in more money. I also wanted to just remind the chair and the committee that we cannot pile onto this because it would have to go back to appropriations. So
Oh, yeah,
we need to
you're
move
right.
This as it
That's
is.
correct.
You're right. We can't do that. That's
Thank
right.
you, Brooke. Thank you.
Thank you for reminding me that. Delegate Clark.
Quick question. Do we have to spend our money before we can apply to compete for the federal money? Or is this a simultaneous link? Thanks.
So for the very first year, so for the very first year, as long as we get the federal money, everything pans out. For the very first year, theoretically, if we don't get the federal money, but there's every indication we will get the federal money, we would be on the hook for the 1 year. But not the
So we
subsequent
still
years
have
after
to put
that.
out the 1
All the
year.
subsequent years are predicated on federal dollars.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, it goes away.
Okay,
All right. I think that's everything. I think I'm going to go to a roll call on this bill. We moved it and seconded it. A roll call.
Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Aye.
Learman,
Yes.
Frazier Hidalgo,
Yes.
Otto,
No.
Jacobs,
More money, more money, more money. Free money. Free
Yeah,
money, free money.
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Wyville,
I'm going to say no, because I think this is something State Highway can reprioritize on their own without the bill.
What can they do without the
Lamprey.
money?
Yes to the money.
Silbert. Oh, I think Silberti's still gone. Wells,
Yes.
Love,
Jeremy?
Love.
Yes.
yes. Ruth,
Yes.
Prettyman,
Yes.
Foley,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Tarasa,
Yes.
Parrot,
Well, for the mayors of Rockville, Gaithersburg, and Frederick, yes.
Ooh.
Boyce,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Jalisi,
Yes.
Anderton,
You knew I was voting for it, but you didn't expect Neilio. So, yes. It's kind of
Gilchrist.
anticlimactic now.
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Chairman,
Yes.
22-2, 1 absent.
Okay. House Bill 656 passes. House Bill 869.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The sponsor has amendments to make this bill a study. So as amended, the bill would require MDE's Wetlands and Waterways Program Division to study and make recommendations on specified items relating to permitting for ecological restoration projects. The study must be conducted in coordination with relevant stakeholders. MDE must report its findings by June 1st, 2024. Amendment number 1 is technical. Number 2 strikes the bill and requires MDE to conduct the study as described. Move the amendments.
Is there a second? Any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote on the amendments. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed,
Aye.
no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the bill?
What's this bill now, Mr. Chairman? Which bill?
This is
869.
869.
869. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All these people are bugging me on the phone. Okay. All right. We'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? The bill passes unanimously among those present. House Bill 1097.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1097 is a task force on property appraisal and evaluation equity. This bill did not go to the subcommittee, but it's coming directly to the full committee. If all of you remember during my testimony, I did share with you a clip from WUSA 9 Channel News. There are amendments to this bill, Mr. Chair. The bill establishes a task force on property appraisal and valuation equity to be staffed by the Department of Housing and Community Development. The task force shall address the misvaluation and undervaluation of properties owned by minority individuals in the state. Because the bill did not have any amendments on it, Mr. Chair, I would like to propose an amendment and change the membership of the task force by removing the legislative members, number one, and number two, by removing the residency requirement that limits the representatives of the general public to those that with primary residence in Prince George's County. I would like to propose by opening this up to residents of the state of the entire state of Maryland. And to be very specific, in terms of the removal of the legislative members, as all of you know, during this time of our 4-year cycle, we have to look very, very closely at task forces in general. What this amendment that I propose does is it removes one member of the Senate appointed by the President of the Senate, and it removes 2 members of the House of Delegates appointed by the Speaker of the House. And the second part of the amendment, Mr. Chair, if I may continue very, very briefly, where the amendment talks about making the representatives of the entire state. Currently in the bill, it says the 4 representatives whose primary residence is Prince George's County, appointed by the President of the Senate. And it also says 4 representatives of the General Assembly who reside in Prince George's County, appointed by the Speaker. And with the amendment that I just proposed, Mr. Chair, those 8 representatives will now be members of the general public throughout the state of Maryland. I move the amendments, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Second?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bills.
Move the bill as amended, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
By the way, I understand Delegate Siliberti has joined us. Welcome, Barry, and we're about to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Neil Parrott is opposed. Any abstentions? The bill passes 24-1. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, House Bill 1121. That should be you, Dave.
Yes, sir. House Bill 1121. I do not have.
Dave, we don't have the amendments for this one.
We're still waiting on the amendments.
Can we, so we're basically not going to be able to do this bill today. We'll have to do it sometime Monday, right?
I mean, we worked out a very comprehensive deal. I have to say that the Motor Vehicle Subcommittee worked our butts off last night to come up with these amendments, and they're really good amendments, and it really makes this bill an amazing bill. But I don't know what the protocol is, Patrick and Mr. Chair, about what we do if the bills aren't back from the.
I'm pretty uncomfortable about voting for an amendment that isn't prepared. I just don't think that's good practice.
Right on.
Not that I haven't occasionally done it, but it always makes me feel uncomfortable. So we're gonna find a time Monday to do it, and then I'll get the speaker to hustle it through so that we will not be afoul of the crossover deadline. Okay, so we're gonna hold that bill until sometime Monday. And what I'd like, staff, is for you to have the interlineated copies emailed to the members of the committee so they can see what they're voting on when I take people off the floor into the Silver Room or the old House chamber to vote on it, okay? Okay. House Bill 1140.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1140 establishes the voluntary firewood treatment certification program in DNR. It certifies forest product operators who export firewood to other states and use heat treatment and other procedures to prevent the presence of wood-boring pest infestations. Mr. Chairman, the subcommittee report is favorable, no amendments.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, basically, is this the bill that's going to allow us to cook the spotted lanternflies before we sell the wood? Okay, all right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimously among those present. House Bill 1143.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, House Bill 1143. I do not have the full report, but I think we voted it out clean.
I actually have it here.
Okay, great.
Okay, so House Bill 1143 expand, and this is a Allegheny County, Garrett County, 8 all-terrain vehicles, snowmobile bill. House Bill 1143 expands the definition of all-terrain vehicle in provisions governing the use of all-terrain vehicles and snowmobiles in Allegheny and Garrett counties to include off-highway motorcycles. Additionally, the bill expands the area of a highway from 2 to 5 miles on which Allegheny and Garrett County may authorize all-terrain vehicles and snowmobiles to operate. There are no amendments. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill? Barry, do you wish to speak? No, okay. All right. On the bill, 1143, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimously among those present. Next, let's go to House Bill 1262.
Again, House Bill 1262. I have the old floor report, but not the latest. And my understanding is we did put a small technical amendment on it for the not in subcommittee. That's for full committee. But it did.
Okay, well, I've got.
I can explain it.
Oh, go ahead.
1262 authorizes the placement of one speed monitoring system speed camera at the intersection of Maryland Route 333 Oxford Road, Bonifield Avenue in Talbot County, subject to existing signage and permanent requirements for the speed cameras. That's what the bill does. I don't know about the amendment.
The amendments reshape the bill to fit our criteria for one area speed cameras and require that the fines collected be used to address the problems at the intersection.
Right, and this is a bill that we passed last year and I think failed to make it in time on the Senate side. So we voted on this before. So first, let me just say the amendment is before us. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion on the amendment. Will, do you want to speak on the amendment or the bill?
The amendments, do they include the real-time posting of speed or not?
Yes, this is a one area speed camera. Those have that.
Okay, thanks.
So the Wyville amendment is in force. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The bill is before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the bill for second time in 2 years? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. So Otto, Siliberti, are you opposed?
Absolutely.
Okay. Neil Parrott is opposed. Any other Republicans opposed?
I'm opposed, Mr. Chairman.
Jay Jacobs is opposed.
These are speed cameras, right?
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Speed cameras, yeah.
Right, okay.
Speed monitoring system.
Right. Okay, so that would be 21-4.
Yes, sir.
Work of the devil.
What did you say?
The work of the devil.
Yes, well, I'll point out to Johnny Mox that you feel he's the devil. Okay, House Bill 11.
He is the devil.
House 1279.
You'd have thought it was a grammar bill.
Oh, wow.
We'll say that out loud.
Now you can't say you didn't get an amendment on the floor.
That's true. Okay,
Thank you,
House Bill 1279.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1279. This bill expands Sunday hunting in the state by authorizing DNR to allow a person to hunt any game bird or game mammal on each Sunday during the open season for that game or bird or mammal throughout the state. Mr. Chairman, the subcommittee looked at this bill and voted it unfavorably.
Second.
Oh, okay. Unfavorable motion and seconded. Any discussion on the unfavorable motion? All right, we'll do a roll call vote. The motion is unfavorable. If you want to vote.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask why it was, what was the argument for making?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, thank you. The subcommittee talked about this yesterday. We spend a lot of time providing counties with local courtesy, local control over their hunting days and times. This bill would take that all away.
Oh, this is the statewide bill.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. I'm good.
Oh.
Okay. You know what? Let me try a voice vote. I forgot that it was statewide.
Me too.
All those in favor of the unfavorable motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who is opposed to the unfavorable motion? Anybody? Okay, the bill of the unfavorable motion carries unanimously among those present. House Bill 1300.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1300 exempts the repair, renovation, reconstruction, or limited expansion of specified structures in the Beach Erosion Control District from a prohibition against land clearing. At the hearing, we heard from Ocean City. They were favorable on this. The subcommittee looked at it. We gave it a favorable motion. No amendments, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill without amendments?
The bill, let's go.
Okay, all those in favor of the bill signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimously among those present. House Bill 1362. And I do not have.
House Bill 1362. I do have the full report on.
Oh.
That was voted out of subcommittee last night favorably with no amendments.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on Delegate Prettyman's first bill in this committee? Yay. No, all right, let's
No,
vote.
I just have one quick question.
Okay, Jerry.
When she says highway user fund, that's the city of Baltimore's current highway user fund.
Yeah, it doesn't go out. It doesn't go out and
Snatch
it doesn't touch any of the user fund work that we've already done.
It's just about how they can use it, not what they.
Yeah.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Delegate Anderson's previous bill.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Well, Roxanne's bill passes unanimous. Committee, yay.
Bravo.
All right. House Bill 1386.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1386 establishes several restrictions and requirements relating to black bear hunting permits issued by Department of Natural Resources in Allegheny, Frederick, Garrett, and Washington counties. In those counties, DNR is prohibited from issuing a black bear hunting permit to a person who is not a state resident. Mr. Chairman, the subcommittee brought this up at our subcommittee. We heard some information from DNR. We voted unfavorable, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, man.
Second.
I
Okay,
want Dan to get a bill.
all right.
That deserves one.
Any discussion on the black bear bill? Okay. We're going to vote by voice. All those in favor of the unfavorable motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the unfavorable motion?
Opposed.
Neil Parrott is opposed. Anyone else? Okay, the unfavorable motion carries 24-1. House Bill 1391.
It is 23-1 because Brooke disconnected.
Oh, 23-1. Okay. Yeah, she's driving to my district to go to a rally that Cheryl and Julie will be at, but Jim and Kumar are going to miss. So, oh well. I'm not bitter or anything. Okay,
No.
House Bill 1391.
No.
1391 is my bill, but I do not have the full report in front of me.
Believe it or not, I do.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, as amended, House Bill 1391 establishes through fiscal year 2025 the qualified plug-in electric vehicle and fuel cell electric vehicle excise tax credit, and number 2, extends eligibility to certain vehicles. The bill also requires the Maryland Energy Administration to transfer annually in fiscal 23 through 25 the lesser of $10 million or the total amount of credits allowed against the excise tax for the Strategic Energy Investment Fund, SEIF, to the Transportation Trust Fund. The bill takes effect July 1, 22. The subcommittee amendments do the following things. Number 1, establish a grant program for medium and heavy duty zero emission vehicles and heavy equipment. Number 2, includes a tax credit for auto cycles. 3, lowers the cap on the price of the vehicles, individual, automobiles to $50,000. Number 4, includes zero emission heavy equipment in in and strikes hybrid vehicles from the Clean Cars program. Okay, those are the amendments. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? Jerry, do you want to talk on the amendments or the bill?
On the bill.
Okay, what about you, Dana? Same thing?
On the amendment, I have an amendment question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess my question is, do the amendments change the retroactivity to 2020 at all?
They do not. It does not look back. It only looks forward.
Yes, Maggie
Probably look
McIntosh
forward.
came up to us on the floor and asked if she would get a credit for the car she bought, and we told her we loved her, but the answer is no.
Okay.
And then they both looked at me and told me they love me too. And the answer for me too is also no.
Actually, we didn't say we loved you.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I just think these things.
Don't push it.
Okay, Delegate Terraza on the amendments or on the bill?
On the amendment.
Okay,
I'm just curious why strike hybrids? I thought I heard that.
Because there are enough, because there are plenty of electric vehicle options out there, and hybrid was kind of a way of getting from one transition to the next. And
Okay,
moving forward, we just didn't think they were necessary.
okay, thanks.
Charles, on the amendments or the bill?
Amendments.
Okay,
The source of funding, I heard there was part of that, there was transfers of funds from,
SEIF,
okay.
Strategic
Yeah.
Energy Investment Fund.
And that takes care of a lot of the fiscal note for the general fund.
I think it takes care of all of the fiscal note.
Correct.
All right, and I had another question, but I'll think of it. Thank you.
Okay, Mary.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So are we voting right now on the amendment that strikes hybrids?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to oppose the amendment. I'll vote
Want us
for the
to
bill.
You want us to separate out that amendment so you can vote against it?
Yes, please.
Okay, we can do
Because that's
that.
part of that's part of several amendments. It's not just that piece.
Oh, it's not separate amendments, it's one big amendment?
Patrick, am I wrong?
You're right.
Mary, we can't do that.
All right. Yeah, I'm a hybrid driver. I don't like that you carved out hybrids.
Is it never mind. Okay.
I don't like that either, and I drive a.
Well, then you already have them. And by the time you need to buy a new car, there won't even be hybrids on the road for you to purchase because they'll all be electric only.
They're way more affordable still, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
and they do pollute, Mary. They do pollute. So.
Okay.
Well, they're what are in my budget right now, David. So.
All right. Vaughn Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to vote for the amendments and the bill, but are plug-in hybrids in the bill or out of the bill?
Out of the bill.
Out of the bill.
The plug-in, the two cars that are in the bill are plug-in electric vehicles, not hybrids, and fuel cell or hydrogen vehicles, of which there's like one or two in the whole state, and there's no infrastructure for them. But they're theoretically part of the zero emission vehicle mandate program that we have signed on with California.
As long as the hydrogen isn't created by steam reformation of methane.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, Jen?
Yeah, I have one more. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One last thing on the hybrids. I just want to point out the other thing about the hybrids is that since we still don't have the infrastructure for all different types of housing, that's like another additional factor. I appreciate what the committee considered, but I still have that concern.
Okay. All right, on the amendment.
Well, what? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Do you want to talk on the amendment?
No, I want to talk on the bill.
Okay. All right, on the amendment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? One person. Anyway, we don't really count amendment votes, but okay, the amendment passes. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, first hand up is Jerry Clark.
Dave, real quick, would you say, when you drive past these car dealers anymore, they have no stock on their lots and in regular normal gasoline cars? Is there as short a supply of electric cars as there is with just ordinary gasoline cars at this point? Do you know?
So real quick answer, it's really a total mixed bag, Jerry. Some of the EV manufacturers are super hot and you can't get them. Some of the other EV manufacturers do have some stock. It depends exactly on which which vehicle you're looking for. Some you can get right away, and some are pretty hard to find right now. So it's a little bit of both.
So the ones that are really hot and that are harder to get, are these dealers adding on to the sticker price of the EVs the same way they do the gasoline powered cars, where they're adding $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 to the sticker price? I would just be speculating, other than there's one manufacturer I know that that's really, really hot right now. I don't think that they've added on. I don't think they've added on nationwide. They have had price increase, but they've been nationwide price increase due to supply chain issues and some other issues. But there's only one, and that manufacturer only produces one car that would qualify for this incentive. So the other cars, I think that there is some stock and not hard to find. And a lot of those cars would qualify for this incentive because they'd be under the MSRP cap. They'd have a lot of models under the MSRP cap, but I don't know if they're artificially inflating. I hope that'd be interesting. I may stop around and look at a few of them just to see what I find. And the last question is this: the ladies brought up the issue of the hybrid. So prior to now, in the past year or 2 years, has there been rebates on hybrid cars? So another kind of longer answer, the subcommittee and this committee, the last 2 years, we tried to pass this bill. But 2 years ago, as the subcommittee figured we settled on how to pass the bill, COVID hit and wiped out the bill. So we didn't get it across. And then last year, there was some federal dollars that came through that were in contradiction with some appropriations dollars. So we didn't pass the bill. So you have to go back 3 years to 3 or almost 4 years to get to where it was. But yes, as of, I think, 4 years ago, there were some dollars for hybrids, but that was 4 or 5 years ago that we had that in the bill. So it goes back that far. Okay. The hybrids go back that far. And we talked about pulling the hybrids out about 4 years ago, but then decided to keep them in. But now 4 years later, we just kind of feel like the market's mature enough that it's not needed. Story of my life, day late and a dollar short. It's Delegate Clark, it is a very fast moving, fast paced market right now with all of the issues in the world going on. I got a hybrid and didn't even know it.
Oh, gee.
My wife told me one day, that's a hybrid. I said, no, I didn't know it.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Delegate Ruth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Subcommittee Chair, the purpose of this is really to be an incentive to get people to move to electric cars. Isn't that really what we're trying to accomplish here?
Yep. Yes, Delegate. That's what we're trying to accomplish. I think, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So while I'm a hybrid driver also, but I think at this point we respectfully shouldn't be incentivizing people to purchase hybrids because we need to move towards electric, as quickly as we can. So I certainly understand the amendments. I understand it's difficult for some people because the hybrids are cheaper, but I think we need to be moving away from them. Thank you.
Delegate. Okay. Also, on that same note, the hybrids don't qualify under the ZEV mandate that we signed off. So check box number 2. Thank you.
Okay, Delegate Otto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I remember the question I had. You said you lowered the level of the price range.
Yes, sir.
What's that level now?
The current level in the bill is 50,000. It was 54 as the bill was written. In previous years, there was no cap. Then there was a $72,000 cap. And then a few years ago, Delegate Stewart recommended a $63,000 cap. And it's just been kind of slowly moving down as the costs of the cars get down. We just kind of keep pulling the cap down. This will be by far the lowest MSRP cap.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's our hope that by 4 years from now, electric cars will be cheap enough and plentiful enough that we won't have to do any tax credits at all. So
that's exactly right. We hope this is the last time we'll have to do an electric vehicle. There'll be trucks and more heavy equipment probably in the future, but this will be the last time.
Yeah, by the way, there's a little bit of money for a company's products that they're building a manufacturing facility in Maryland to build electric forklift vehicles, I understand. So it's good to see manufacturing coming back to the state. All right. we'll do a roll call vote on the bill itself. Roll call.
Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Aye.
Learman is missing.
Excused.
Excused. Fraser Hidalgo,
Yes, please.
Otto,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Wyval,
Yes.
Ampry,
Yes.
Siliberti,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Prettyman,
Yes.
Foley,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Lehman,
I suppose.
Tarassa,
Yes.
Parrot,
No.
Yes. Sorry.
Boyce,
Yes. Killing me, Neil.
Clark,
Yes.
DeLisi,
Yes.
Anderton,
You surprised by this, DFH? Only one. That's you only got one no. Yes.
Oh, it's a big hug. It's a big hug.
Gilchrist,
I've got a hybrid. Yes.
Healy,
I have a hybrid too. Yes.
Chairman.
No, yes. Line fake. Yes. Okay.
Card laid's a card played.
I did not think it would come out this way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the time on a roll call. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can we have a pile-on amendment where this bill was
Sure.
amended?
Sure, absolutely. Put your hand up if you want to be a co-sponsor. Dave, am I a co-sponsor in your bill already?
I don't remember if you are. It was.
There's no co-sponsors, only Delegate Fraser Hidalgo's on it.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me start reading them off. Kumar Barve, Charles Otto, Marvin Holmes, Sheila Ruth, Regina Boyce, Dana Stein, Sarah Love, Jen Terraza, Jay Jalisi, Vaughn Stewart, Marlon Empry, Roxanne Prettyman, Linda Foley, Ann Healy, Melissa Wells, and that's it, unless there's anybody else.
Thank you, everyone. This is
read back, please.
I have Barve, Otto, Holmes, Ruth, Boyce, Stein, Love, Terraza, Jalisi, Stewart, Ampray, Prettyman, Foley, Healy, and Wells.
That sounds about correct.
Thank you, everyone, very much. This has
All
been
right.
3 years to try to pass this one bill. For those people that don't know, it's literally been 3 years in a row. So thank you very much.
Things can still go wrong, Dave. So
I know, but we got further this time than we did the last 2 years. So
Okay. Any announcements for the good of the body? Otherwise,
I have a motor vehicle subcommittee announcement.
Right. Oh, go ahead.
Motor vehicle subcommittee will not be meeting.
Okay.
Good night.
Any other
I
announcements?
want to thank you for the support of HB 12. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everybody was panicking, but the floor leader was indisposed, and we're all humans. So there we go. So, okay. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a great, Sunday, and come back.